I brought this out, and I'll actually, if you're not too familiar with some of the culturally relevant pedagogy, I guess, that's out there, and there's some really great books. One that I read recently, and I have a small passage from it. It's not really a quote from the book, but I can bring the book so that you can see it, you know, next week, and if you're interested in it, I'm sure you can find it at the library. But it's a woman, a professor at Claremont Graduate University. She's a professor of education. Her name is Gail Thompson, and she is in California, but she recently wrote a book that is titled Up Where We Belong, Helping Latinos and African American Children Achieve. So it's something like that. The title is something like that. But Up Where We Belong is definitely the first part of the title. And what she did was basically interviewed middle school and high school students in public schools, African American and Latino students, and just talked to them about what they were learning, talked to them about what they were reading, and found that the students were really turned off when they had to read about Huckleberry Finn, right? Very turned off to it. No surprise, right? Especially someone who's a literature professor. I'm not surprised that they were turned off by this, but turned off by it to the point where they didn't want to read it. They didn't want to do their homework because it's just not interesting, right? Why do they want to keep reading literature that's going to reinforce certain stereotypes? So she's now helped work with some school districts in Los Angeles who are developing culturally relevant material, and they actually are paying teachers, a group of teachers, additional money to develop this curricula, and studies are underway now to see how that helps with helps them. Of course, how does that reflected in the test is what the state wants to know, but that's one of the ways anyways in which they're going to measure it. And already in the first year there were some gains. So these are, things actually doing some of what I think you talked about, or you'll tell us more about it, but it seems like some of what you're interested in, still linking some of the classroom materials and classroom lessons to community problems, which we'll do some of that here, such as gangs and graffiti. So they are connecting these lessons to social problems, and bringing in readings that help students, give students an opportunity to talk about these things in class. And so the gains have already been, they were already able to note gains in just the first year that these teachers have been developing this material. So that's the sort of thing that we're going to aim for here in this course, over the course of this semester. What quote, I'll just read one quote from her. So the kids were more interested and more engaged, and they were more likely to learn the information that was presented to them because it's presented in multiple ways. But really this idea of engagement is the first step, right? They've got to be connected to it in some way. They have to want to learn about it and talk about it. So, and I think that gives us really quickly an overview of what we're going to be doing this semester, what I'm hoping we'll get out of the course, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you.